Hey everyone. Thank you for being with me here today. 7 months ago, on September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated in front of thousands of people at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. One shot, one man on a roof, a clear, politically motivated killing carried out in broad daylight. The facts have been public since day one, yet the conspiracy theories exploded almost immediately, and they're still raging online right now. False flags, crisis actors, Mossad, inside jobs, second shooters, faked death. You've seen them all. I'm not here to chase clicks or to feed the outrage machine. As an investigator, I'm going to lay out the verified timeline exactly as the evidence shows, straight from court records, law enforcement reports, video, forensics, and official statements. Then I'm going to take you through every major wave of conspiracy theories in the exact order they appeared, who pushed them, where they spread, and why each one collapses when you hold it up to the actual facts. No hype, no tricks, no cuts. Just the truth delivered the way it should be. Let's cut through the mud together. Here is what actually happened. On the morning of September 10th, 2025, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson drove onto the Utah Valley campus in a gray Dodge Challenger. Campus surveillance cameras captured him changing clothes, moving around the grounds. Around 11:50 a.m., he climbed onto the roof of the Losee Center, pardon me if I can't pronounce that, Losee Center, roughly 150 to 200 yards from the stage where Charlie Kirk was speaking at his America Comeback Tour. Tyler Robinson was carrying a bolt-action .30-06 hunting rifle. At about 12:20 p.m., when Kirk was answering audience questions under a white tent, a single shot struck him in the neck, severing the carotid artery. The arterial spray was immediate and visible in the videos. He collapsed right there on stage. Chaos broke out as the crowd scattered. He was rushed to the hospital. That afternoon, President Trump announced the death on Truth Social. By evening, Robinson had been turned in by his own family member after he essentially confessed. He was arrested the same night. The next day, authorities released his phone, texts, and a handwritten note that explicitly said he targeted Charlie Kirk for spreading hate. It was politically motivated. He acted alone. On September 16th, he was indicted for aggravated murder, and prosecutors announced that they would seek the death penalty. 7 months later, in March of 2026, court documents noted that the bullet fragments recovered could not be conclusively matched to the rifle. Forensic pathologists have explained this dozens of times. When a high-velocity round shatters through bone, a perfect match is often impossible. It does not mean a second shooter. It does not mean planted evidence. It does not mean anything except standard ballistics reality. Video evidence, eyewitness accounts, the shooter's own words, the rifle left on the roof, and a massive investigation by local police and the FBI have never wavered. Lone gunman, single distant shot, clear motive. This is the timeline the evidence supports. Now let's talk about what the internet did with it. Within hours, literally the afternoon of September 10th through the 13th, the first wave of conspiracy theories crashed across X, Gab, Reddit, and certain YouTube channels. People immediately called it a false flag staged by Trump or his administration to distract from the Epstein files. Does that remind you of claims of anybody else going on right now with the Iran war? Or these people claimed that it was to rally the base, that there were crisis actors, holograms, Kirk isn't really dead. And then the anti-Semitic wave hit hard. There were claims that Israel or Mossad ordered the hit because Charlie had been noticing Jewish influence. Just like they killed JFK, the Post said. Over 18,000 anti-Semitic mentions tracked in the first 3 days alone. Stu Peters and various far-right voices amplified them heavily. Here's why the wave collapses under its own weight. The shooter left his rifle on the roof. His family turned him in. His phone contained direct messages about targeting Kirk. Campus cameras show him getting into position. No one has ever produced a single credible piece of evidence of staging or foreign involvement. FBI Director Kash Patel and Utah Governor Cox said so publicly from the beginning. Those claims were not investigation. They were emotional reaction and political poison. By mid-September, the story shifted to the second wave. Now the texts were too perfect and therefore fabricated. There was supposedly no real autopsy. The wound like it came from a close range or from below, meaning insiders on stage or a second shooter. Fingers started pointing at Erica Kirk or people inside Turning Point USA. These ideas spread on body language analysis channels and early podcast episodes with eyewitness videos clipped out of context. Again, the facts don't bend. An autopsy was performed and confirmed the wound. Phone records independently back the text. The arterial spray and trajectory are textbook for a high-velocity rifle shot. No credible witness or video has ever supported a close range or a second shooter claim. Not one shred of evidence has ever been offered. Then came October through December, and the volume turned way up. Candace Owens went deep on her podcast on YouTube, reaching millions. She claimed that Charlie appeared to her in a dream, warning about betrayal. She floated French Foreign Legion involvement, FBI orchestration, or an inside job at Turning Point. She implied heavily that Israel or Mossad had connections to this, even commenting on Erica Kirk's rings as some kind of signal. Steve Bannon, Laura Loomer, and others helped push the narrative. Erica Kirk eventually came out herself and told the public, stop, that's it. Still, after all the episodes, all the claims, not a single document, recording, or witness has ever backed any of it up. The story kept changing day to day. That wasn't journalism. That was content. That was grift. And that brings us to now, March and April 2026. On March 31st, Forbes reported that the court filing about the inconclusive ballistics on the bullet fragments. Within hours, X, YouTube, and the podcast world lit up again. See? Second shooter, Patsy, ghost gun, evidence planted. Maybe Charlie Kirk is even still alive. Let me be very clear about this latest wave. Forensic evidence has explained that when a bullet hits bone at high speed and fragments, a conclusive match is often impossible. This is not suspicious. It is standard. The defense is using it to slow down the trial. It does not exonerate the shooter. It does not prove a conspiracy theory. After 7 full months of investigation, law enforcement has never walked back the lone gunman conclusion. Not once. So here we stand. Every major conspiracy theory about Charlie Kirk's assassination has now been examined in real time as it appeared, and every single one has collapsed when held up to the primary evidence. The shooter had means, motive, and opportunity, and left an overwhelming trail. The investigation has held up under scrutiny. This is exactly why we built this channel. We don't chase the latest wild speculation. We take what America is searching for and talking about, whether it's today's Google trends or a tragedy like this. We do the hard work of verification with logic, primary sources, and plain reason. The internet runs on outrage and conspiracy because it pays. Our job is to run on the truth because it matters. If you're tired of the mud, tired of being lied to and manipulated, if you want a place that actually cuts through instead of adding to the mud, then hit that subscribe button and join us. We're just getting started. Drop one word in the comments if this is the kind of content you want more of. Drop truth in the comments. I'll see you in the next video where we break down what America is Googling right now and separate fact from fiction once again. Thank you for watching. Stay skeptical, stay evidence-based. I'll talk to you soon.